Why should we talk about AI in yet another podcast if it seems that everyone is talking about it now?
He told me, listen, everybody is talking about the tools, and it can be beneficial to talk about what AI does to people.
Why? Explain why. You are asking him. Him. It's not him. It's it. It's not a person. And why you're not thinking for yourself in the first place and then asking?
It's faster and it's easier.
For centuries, we as humanity, collectively, had to think, read, argue, to have everything we have now. We as humanity came to what we know now as Renaissance and Enlightenment. We did that using this. And now...
Tomato. He says, Enlightenment started because many Byzantine scholars who preserved many ancient Greek texts moved to Europe after
Constantinople.
Yeah. Fell to the
Ottomans.
Yeah. Europe got access to knowledge just through books instead of Wi-Fi. With this. And it sparked the Enlightenment, he says.
So, who's enlightened? You or that? Hi, this is our silent podcast. We're gonna be silent for 2 hours in a row.
Enjoy. Stay silent with us. This is Serge, is an award-winning film director. He is a visionary. He is a storyteller. He is a very awesome friend of mine. And I'm so excited that we're able to do this podcast together because I love to pick his mind. He's the most interesting person I know. And I tell all of my friends that I want to introduce them to Serge first.
Thank you very much.
So awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jessica. And Jessica is assistant film director. We work like this with her. Also, she's amazing singer and vocal teacher. Mm-hmm. And one of the ideas we have for the future in our backlog to produce a musical, whether it will be like short form musical or long form musical, but still it will be a musical. Mm-hmm. So, and even I would challenge myself to sing with your vocal supervision, I would say that. Yes.
Easily.
So that would be really amazing. And of course, Jessica is a very good friend of mine and a really deep person. And we are not afraid in our talks to go like really deep to the very deep and sometimes darker parts of our beings, so to speak, to clear them up, basically. And because whatever stays unsupervised, it's starts impacting you in a bad way in an unconscious mode.
Yes, it starts ruling over you without you knowing it. It's interesting.
Yeah. So, that's who we are. Mm-hmm. And so, Jessica, let's pretend we are driving and talking rather than sitting and in official podcast setting. And as a filmmakers, we are normally using lavalier microphones, which is like lapel mics, and they create this normal sound. And this kind of microphones so close produce almost ASMR type of sound. So if people would hear how I'm swallowing my saliva or something, that's totally normal with that type of microphones.
Yeah.
So that's a new experience.
I was actually thinking, it is very strange because we usually are behind the camera and now we're in front and it feels a little bit unusual, a little bit strange.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it now, but it's a little strange.
Yeah,
I wonder what our subjects feel like when they're actually on camera. Do they also feel this tension inside?
let's call it coming out.
Yes.
So, coming out from behind the camera.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah, but actually it's very, very useful to like feel with our skins what's happening in front of the camera, because normally we think that the person would instantly understand what he or she is expected to do. And he or she has no idea what the director wants. And very often I become, as a film director, I become really nervous about that. Like, how can he or she doesn't see that this is how the story goes, this is what's expected. But what's happening in the camera has nothing to do with how reality goes, right? Because very often we can do medium shot of a person in one location, and then for the beauty of close-up, we can totally move the person to like several meters away, or sometimes even miles away, just for the beauty of the shot, and he or she should repeat the scene. So how possibly he or she could remember what they stopped, where, yes.
You told me once that in Russian, the editor, just a film editor, is called the director of editing, because that's where the magic begins, with all these different shots. This shot was here and this shot was here, but we create this beautiful story that very seamlessly flows from one to another.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. I remember when we were filming a music video for our very good friend who's a singer. And I remember that we built a very dramatic scene how he is like failing in life, or at least he thinks that he's failing in life. And his morning starts like in a very rough way. He just hates himself, and he pours coffee in a very like neglecting way. Coffee is all around the table. And he grabs the mug and goes to the dining table and puts the mug on the table. And when I was editing that, I just, because it was filmed in totally different takes, I noticed that he grabs from the kitchen, he grabs the mug, which is wet, because he just spilled coffee all around. And when he puts the mug on the dining table, on the beautiful white tablecloth, it's beautifully, perfectly dry mug.
No coffee stains, no nothing, just perfect.
Just evaporated during a couple of seconds. So what we ended up doing, because we want to be like really authentic with our viewers to preserve continuity and believability. So basically, maybe a couple of months passed since our main shooting. And we came to him, just made him just dress the same way. And we just had 1 second of a close-up as he grabs the towel and just wipes the mug to make it dry. And then he does this movement as if he's about to put it on the table. And then we had this perfect continuity.
Yes.
So that's what it takes, basically, for our viewers to understand. 2 months later, just to bring all the equipment back and just to add 1 second.
Yes, and I'm sure in the footage itself, it wasn't just 1 second. It was just a take after take after take of this, and you had to choose the best second. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
To say nothing of the fact that in the place where he lived, he had 2 budgies, and those budgies were extremely noisy, and we needed this like very intimate, quiet atmosphere. So we ended up recording everything with the budgets because we didn't have any chance to get rid of them. And later, I just did the exercise with my younger son, and we basically redubbed everything like from scratch. So basically everything that he was doing, like waking up, those squeaky sounds. So we were like going with the recorder, sound recorder, and recreating all those sounds. We were watching, okay, he's waking up, so he's stretching, okay, we need this sound. And then like he's pouring coffee, so we took water and just poured water into empty cup, and we're recording it, and turning on light switch and specific type of light switch. And like it took us like hours to just recreate all those sounds, and then hours more to just carefully sync them with the actual actions. So basically, no sound was recorded on the...
Because of the birds.
Because of the birds, yeah. So
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a lot of work.
Everything is artificial. Yeah, artificially was artificially created. Yeah, yeah.
I remember when I first started working with you, there was another, I guess, scene, a night scene that we were shooting. So the city was kind of quiet, and it was rain, so like nice splatters of the feet. But I didn't know, because I was very new, I didn't know that we're also recording the sound itself and that it needs to be like very natural. And I remember just for every single good shot, I would be like, wow, this was so good. I love it. And at one point you were like, no, the sound, it's rolling. I'm like, oh, I didn't actually know. I actually thought everybody was dubbing everything, but that's just extra work.
Yeah.
Oh, who has the time for that?
What excites you about filmmaking?
It's going to sound a little bit power hungry. I like to be able
to rule the world.
Yes. Basically, yes. I like to be able to create something out of nothing. Just like we talked about the director of editing. It could be, or I guess, you could bring a whole new meaning to the same exact, let's say like you have 10 shots, give it to 3 different directors of editing, and you're going to have 3 completely different stories. And I love to be able to play around with it and put meaning where it wasn't originally meant to be. It's really interesting. Just being able to, just one word comes to mind, being able to manipulate the things on the screen to have a specific outcome, to have a specific emotional.
Interesting.
What about you? Is it different? Is it a little power hungry of me to like that part of filmmaking?
No, it's very different with me. I follow the phrase of, I just read it in some filmmakers group, and the phrase goes like that: why are you doing films? The answer is because a therapist is very expensive. So, yeah.
Actually, yes.
Yes, so that's about me. That's why I do the films, because first of all, I really like to... Well, I'm a very curious person to start with. And I'm hungry, not mostly for the power, but to live many lives of different people. I mean, why not to live a life of a sailor, let's say, or baker, or a computer engineer, or a scientist, and it's impossible to live all at the same time unless you're Leonardo da Vinci. But and yet still there are limitations. And I think filmmaking is one of the few fields that basically allows you to do that. Because especially in documentary filmmaking, and actually in fiction filmmaking too, so you can recreate the difference between documentary and narrative filmmaking is basically, in the first case, you're observer, in the second case, you're a creator. So, but in any ways, you either observe or you create the life you are interested in, you are fascinated about, and you live with your character or the character you are observing. You live that life, and you absorb, like sponge, those vibes, those energy, not to be like energetic vampire or something, but you are like feeding with the energy, not that person, but that setting,
the environment.
The environment, how that person would feel in that and that type of life or occupation. So it's very exciting to me.
I have a question.
Yes.
You've been a film director for a while in your field of work, and on this whole time, what was one life or one aspect of a life that you were excited to experience that you wouldn't have otherwise experienced if not for your film making?
I think that may sound complicated, but I'm a very emotionally resilient person. And the edge or rather threshold where I start really experiencing emotions is like higher than other people have. So like real life dramas, like what we usually have, or people usually have in everyday life, they don't touch me too much because my threshold is higher. It's like I'm feeling that I'm wasting my life when I'm thinking about that. And in films, whether it's a documentary or a narrative film, I have a chance to touch basically the very higher, much higher level of emotions and drama, or not necessarily drama, but it can be emotions, not necessarily bad emotions. It can be like bad or good emotions, but the amplitude of those emotions are way higher. And that's when I feel alive, basically.
I was thinking, because I'm also thinking now about my question to you. Did I re-say that question?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm thinking about the same question for myself, and I'm thinking how many times I thought a specific place or experience or like winning something would bring a specific emotion, and it never did. So when I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll go to like Italy for the film, we're going to film a movie there, and I have a specific expectation of how I'm going to feel. And I'm sure when I arrive in Italy and we film whatever film, I will not feel the same. I will not feel the same way as I thought I would. So I think it's very tricky. It's just like...
I think it's, again, it's a journey where we don't see what's going to happen around the corner. So it's like you're driving and you never know what's going to happen around the corner. So you are reacting basically based on incoming information every time. But what's good in filmmaking, again, you have no ability to plan it to the point how everything should go. It's always adventure. It's always the specific level of uncertainty involved. And that's what excites me, actually, because you never know how you're going to react at specific things. And you never know what challenges you will be facing, basically. And you need to react right away when you encounter them. And this produces like chemically a lot of adrenaline, of course, but it makes me excited. Not that I'm an adrenaline addict, but sometimes I call it like, let's wash some extra cholesterol with our adrenaline through our pipes. Yes. So that's interesting. But back to your question, what I would like to experience or enjoy experiencing, I think it's not something specific. It's like basically it's the next level of why we're even watching films, to experience lives that we are not living, basically. So creating films is just the same, but on the next level. So even way higher, because you are actually not consuming the worlds, you are creating those worlds.
Which life would you want to live? You know how you said you're creating a life and you can, in documentary you observe, but in the fiction you make it. Which life would you want to live? What would be your next film?
Let's say this way, I'm really burdened with the fact that what we see in mainstream films, especially sci-fi films about the future, we always see kind of either dystopian scenario or kind of a apocalyptic / post-apocalyptic. So I don't know where it's going from, that the mainstream film is kind of imposing the idea on us that the future will be bad, or at least worse than we have now, that we are moving slowly to something like really bad that is going to happen. So, and I would like to film something that is future optimistic, because I call myself like optimistic futurist sometimes, because I really believe that the future will be way brighter than we have now. And it's not just a wishful thinking. It's basically evidence-based approach. If you look throughout all the history of humankind, you can see, of course, like ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But if you average this line of ups and downs, it will slowly goes up, always goes up, whether it's in the societal patterns we live in, or with medicine advance, healthcare advance. We can be like really angry at the healthcare we have now, of course, and yet just rewind history like 500 years ago and you will be dead from plague or from even rewind more from leprosy, from different diseases that today is just one pill, one shot, done. You don't even pay attention. You just did the shot, did the pill, and took the pill and just go working next day. So, and this is not something to be taken as granted. I think we should be like forever thankful for those beautiful minds through the history that were like working, laid all their lives for research, for science exploration, basically. And but back to the question, back to the story, the humanity always becomes better, better, and better. We are advancing with some steps back sometimes, like let's put it like 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. We are waltzing, basically. And as a humanity.
That's beautiful, actually.
Yeah. And so nothing stops this line. Like I don't see anything could stop this line unless we have some technological disaster like nuclear or something. So other than that, I don't see anything stops this line. So and why I would like to film something about optimistic future, because any film is programming our mind in a way. So someone said, like, imagine you're sitting in a movie theater, everything is dark, and you have just a light in front of you and it's flickering. So what is that? It's hypnosis, basically. So any film is an act of hypnosis, basically. And if we hypnotize, metaphorically speaking, ourselves with like bad post-apocalyptic future all the time, that's how we start imagining future, how we start imagining it. That's the future we start subconsciously aiming towards and expect it. And we all know the phenomenon of the tunnel vision, right? So let's say you bought a car of a specific make, and suddenly you see on the roads only cars of this make, and you're like, wow, where they came from. So and they were always there, but the tunnel vision just starts filtering them. The same here. So if we hypnotized ourselves through the films or programmed ourselves with a really bad post-apocalyptic pessimistic future scene, then probably we're gonna see it in everything. Like every news will confirm basically that, okay, the future will be bad. And I told you, it will be bad.
Because of AI.
Yes. And the same is true on the opposite way. So if we see that the future will be bright and nice and optimistic, and we believe in humanity, we believe that collectively we can make sense together and agree on going forward in a progressive way. And I don't load the word progressive now with a political agenda, but like progressive from like encyclopedia progressive. So progressive, not regressive. And then we gonna start seeing the signs of the optimistic future again in every news, in everything that we do or see. So I'm very optimistic about that. And that's actually was very long detour of answering your question about the films I would like to film. So that's type of films. I think that we are really, really missing the films which are optimistic about the future. Maybe one of the really, really few films that I watched recently was Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And it was different. It was different because it's showing that the future can be optimistic and solvable, at least.
Yeah, yeah. The whole AI talk instills some fear into me, but it's because I don't know much about it. And what I do hear is the negative things around it. One thing or one problem being, I'm sure that people created AI initially in hopes of helping human beings with certain things. But right now, it serves for a lot of people, especially young people, as a, will it sound mean, brain replacer? They stop thinking and they're not as curious anymore. And it's just, even though, yes, with the AI, we want and the hope is for the world to progress, the brain regresses for a lot of the people. They don't use it as a tool and as a helper. They use it as a, do it for me. You're my brain now. And that, I think, is another side of it. The fact that people, or the people that have created AI, they didn't give like a little guide of how to use it in a way that would benefit you. Now they just use it to turn off the brain. And that's kind of scary.
Yes and no, I would say. I think it's just supporting my previous idea about how humanity progresses forward or advances forward. And they call it the phenomena of a plastic ball pen. So this is a disposable plastic pen, right? You can buy in the dollar store, right? So the idea is that nobody knows how it's made. Why? Because the plastic body of it is, some specific factory is responsible for manufacturing it, and this specific factory has its know-how to do that. The other factory that does the inks basically has no idea how to produce plastic body in it. So I'm not even talking about the consumers that are using it. We just take it for granted.
Yeah.
Just something like 50 cents for like a pack of them, right? Now, the metal factory that creates the actual ball for the ball paper has nothing to do with the inks production and plastic production. They also don't know how it's made. And finally, the final manufacturer who is assembling all this together, again, has no idea how all parts are made. So collectively, we know how to create a ball pen, plastic ball pen, but each of us has no idea how to do that. I'm not saying that just randomly. This is a metaphor of what's going on with AI right now. So what's happening, in my opinion, of course, there are risks. There are risks of losing some cognitive power if we are relying too much on it. But using it consciously and wisely, we are coming to the same level of abstraction we always used to do. Basically, we are not thinking even how the plastic pen is produced. We are just taking it and writing with it. We use it as a tool. The same with a way more complicated example, a car. We are basically, I will dive into some other rabbit hole now, because we are interface beings, which means when you turn on your phone, you see the icons of different apps, right? And you click, you press, you swipe, you're using interface, right? So what's happening in our brain? Our brain matches specific actions that we do to the results that we get from them, right? We swipe down, we can adjust brightness, let's say, right? Do we have any slightest idea how the coding in that system works when we swipe down? And what code catches this gesture? How it reads from the touch screen? What program is called to create that interface of brightness adjustment? When we slide it, so how LED light of the back screen is going up or down, to what levels? We are not interested in that. We see the result. Yeah. So it goes back in time. When our ancestors, like far, far ancestors, were sitting and roasting meat, right? Or just picking some berries. And suddenly they hear the sound, the rustling of the bushes behind them. So that was the proto interface that we were communicating with, like interacting with. So rustling of the branches means run. There is a tiger or somebody, run, danger, interface. If we or our ancestors would like really analyze what's happening and how it's happening, like, okay, I hear rustling of the branches. Oh, is it loud or not too loud? Okay, so maybe it's a tiger, or maybe it's a rabbit, maybe it's a raccoon. Should I run or not? Let me wait. Let me confirm with my sight, like, is it a tiger or not?
Maybe
so, yes, I think we would not be sitting here and recording
Yes.
podcast because the humanity would go extinct way before our podcast. So we are interface human beings. And the same, like more complicated example, a car. So we have no idea what's happening under the hood, right? So, I mean, we have a basic idea, but we don't know how the engine works. We don't know how many pistons even there sometimes. And if somebody is a car enthusiast, yeah, he or she must know, but regular people, they don't know how automatic transmission works. And how the car drives, basically. So all we know is the interface. So you press this pedal, it accelerates. You press this pedal, it decelerates. You turn the wheel, it turns with specific rate of changing the angle. So we interact with the interface, and our brain wires up the possible outcome, what's going to happen. So back to the question. We needed this backstory to understand the question. So back to your question, what AI does, it creates the environment where we can operate the world at a way higher level. So imagine you have, let's say, a task that consists of several milestones or checkboxes that you need to do, or a project. You have a project. And earlier, what you would do, you would split it in milestones, then split it to tiny, tiny tasks, and would start doing those tasks one by one. So what AI is about to do, and we are in the middle of AI agent revolution right now. So when AI will introduce the full-fledged agents, so basically we will be able to create and run projects on a higher abstract level. So we are becoming CEO basically of our projects, like project manager, rather than actual workers.
We're delegating tasks.
We're delegating tasks. Imagine hiring a team that works under your supervision. And they say you are a very bad manager if you micromanaging tasks and trying to understand every tiny thing that that people you delegated to are doing, right? Which means, are we getting dumber as managers because we don't understand what's going on the lower level? It's the same with programming languages. The programming languages started with the very, very low level programming languages, like take the signal basically or value from this wire of the chip and transfer it to this wire of the chip. And then like medium level programming languages appeared that, okay, take all the wires from left side of the chip, let's say it metaphorical way, and just copy all of them to another way. And under that program, we had those tiny low-level programs, like take from one wire, take another, from one wire, take to another wire, and we stopped thinking about that because our brain is very limited to do that, to keep all nuances in mind. And then high-level programming languages evolved, which says, okay, let's run a loop from 1 to 100, and during this loop, let's do that. And millions of operations are running under the hood. And we have no idea what's happening there inside the computer. And we don't care. And should we say that we became dumber because of that? I don't think so. We just started thinking on a way more abstract level, on a high level of delegation, on a high level of control, what we want. Yeah, there is always danger, basically, that if we are only managers as humanity, and we lost the knowledge of how low-level tasks are performed, then in case something happens with machines, or they are becoming self-conscious and rebel against us, we are lost, right? But so are we if something happens with the power grid. We are lost, majority of us, with the water supply, with internet nowadays, with telephone. Can we say that we are very vulnerable now because we have no idea how to recreate electricity supply in case of a disaster, right? Or water supply. Okay, some of us can do, can have experience like of living off-grid, like planting potatoes and just back to pre-medieval times and no doctors, nothing. But everything is dependent on that. So even going to a hospital, right? It depends on electricity, on power grid. Just disconnect the power, everything stops. Everything stops. So should we say we are vulnerable? In a way, yes, as like basic survivability instincts. But we are trusting the infrastructure, and as humanity, we are collectively maintaining the infrastructure to always have electricity. I think the same will be evolving in the area of AI, basically. So we will keep the infrastructure so that the knowledge would be preserved, and low-level knowledge would be probably run by AI agents. But as human beings, I think we should preserve the skills and have the skills somewhere backed up, described as we have in Wikipedia, let's say, right? So let's say if apocalypse happened, but we still have a copy of Wikipedia, right? Then recreation of all the technology will take years, not thousands of years, because we know the way, right? So the same here. As much as we delegate to AI, I think we should keep the procedures and the way it does things described somewhere and preserved, so that in case something happens, we as humanity can relearn those skills and start doing them by ourselves. What do you think?
That made me feel a little better, to be honest. But then the question, or my question is, with this AI and us now becoming managers, CEOs, it's almost like our human experience and what it is to be human is narrowed down to projects and like viewing our life as projects. My concern is what makes us feel human. I was thinking of, I guess, a simile for this. I never really understood CEOs of really big companies that still come up on stage and like, yes, we care about this, da da da. And like he says, or they say the heart of their product or like their project, da da da. But they aren't the one doing it. And a lot of the time, they don't even bring any new ideas into it. They just manage it. So in my mind, it's like, I guess you're the head of it, but you don't do anything there. How come? I understand you are the CEO of it, but you're not the company anymore. You just tell everybody what to do and just sit in your chair. And I guess bringing it back to the human experience, maybe it's a very personal opinion. I feel very human or more human when I am the one experiencing actions, or when I'm the one experiencing the different things, the different emotions, finding out new things, when I'm being active in whatever I'm doing. But if I'm now a sole manager of these things, might as well just sit back in my chair and do nothing. But it doesn't excite me at all. And I feel like for a lot of people too, they will become a little less human and a little more robotic. I think, no, maybe if you utilize the AI as project manager, you are going to be the project manager of AI for specific tasks, for actual projects, maybe that will work good. But right now, people are using it for normal human everyday tasks. Like, make me a grocery list. I'll put you everything that I have in the fridge, keep track of it. How to do laundry. Like all of these very small things that I think make us human beings. And why do we need so much time on our hands? I'm thinking about, one of my favorite books is called The Little Prince. There is one chapter near the end where he meets a man with, I guess, like little special pills that get rid of your thirst. You can take one and not want to drink. And he says that it frees up 53 minutes of your time. And the Little Prince was very confused. The Little Prince is the main character of that book. He was very confused. Why would I need 53 minutes? What would I do in those 53 minutes? And he's like, whatever you want. And the prince was like, well, I guess in those 53 minutes, I'll just walk very slowly towards a water fountain. We're creating all of this space, all of this time for ourselves, but then we still don't really live it. We don't know how to do it anymore. It's like the AI becomes our brain and we don't use the brain anymore.
Well, look at this way. It's not necessarily that we are becoming the managers. We have like managers as managers. I would say that rather we are gaining the freedom to do what we want to do, basically. Because we've been delegating things throughout all our life without knowing that. Let's say you're an artist and you enjoy creating paintings. So without knowing that, you are delegating canvas production. You have no idea how to do that. We delegate paints production or manufacturing. We have no idea what elements are there, like how they are made, like why the red is red, why the green is green. Again, back to interface thinking. We're just perceiving the world. Okay, I can go to the art supply store, just grab my paints and grab my canvas, grab my brushes. Do we know how to manufacture brushes? No. We are, in a way, we are delegating. We are living in houses or apartments. We don't know how a light switch is created. We delegated that. Why the garage door is opening, how the engine works there. We were delegating. We were just not given commands to other people, but we are using their labor, their intellectual property. We're putting all that together and create on top of that. Which already makes us like project managers, because imagine managing and supervising all those technological processes to have what we have now, right? And you are cooking, right? So do we have a slightest idea how vinegar is made, how soy sauce is made, how to skin a cow and have the specific type of meat we want, how to grow rice, how to water it properly, how to choose the proper sort of rice, not in the grocery store. But when you're planting it, and specific sort probably needs specific water regime, and the other sort needs the other. We don't know anything about that. We create it on top of other people building things for us or doing things for us. So we're in a way managing all the processes, but without the direct managing. So let's say those processes are self-managed, and we're using the results of those processes. So I think we're doing something similar with AI, basically. So giving a task to AI is like very similar to going to a grocery store and buying a bag of rice, because it feels like we just delegated some people across the world just to grow the rice for us using the technologies that we have. We don't have a clue, a slightest clue how to do that. And we haven't been having this notion that we're stupid or dumb because we don't know how to plant rice. We were actively using it, the labor and intellectual property and skills of other people. I think that's not too much different.
So, do you think AI will eventually do all the thinking for us?
Possibly, but there is one thing AI is still struggling with.
Fingers. No.
Besides fingers, understanding why a business actually matters.
Isn't that what marketing departments are for?
Sometimes, but let's face it, most businesses nowadays describe themselves as something like, we provide innovative solutions for exceptional customer service.
Which means absolutely nothing these days.
Exactly. Every business has a story. Every business owner has a passion. How he or she started, how they built a team, how they started serving customers, what they convey to the world with this business.
Yeah.
And people want to connect to this passion.
And you film those stories?
Well, I'm an award-winning film director, so when I'm filming business documentaries or brand films or promo videos, I treat it as a piece of art. It's not just a talking head in front of the camera saying, we provide better customer service.
I bet you don't allow that.
No. In a business documentary about a company, I would show why people should love this company.
So how can people book you?
They can visit my website, velbix.com, or reach me in social media. It's really easy. @Director Serge.
Can I help you film?
Of course, you will.
That'd be really cool. I think we're just losing our ability to stay curious and to create just in general. That's why I think I have such an aversion to it right now, because I see how the people that I know use AI. You know how you said it frees up the space for you to do whatever you want. A lot of people don't know what they want to do because I think they haven't really been taught, or they didn't have enough time to learn how to think and how to create and stay curious. So then they'll have all of this time on their hands and go straight into the phones because nobody knows what to do.
Yeah, that was exactly what was intended to happen. Because imagine people like a couple of thousands years ago, where they just had to do round-the-clock work in maintaining the field, the crops, the animals, everything. They didn't have time for what we call now existential vacuum.
Yeah.
They didn't have any idea what meaning of life is and whether should we apparently look for it, right? So you touched on a very important topic now. So it's not the AI that kills us.
I think with the introduction of AI, but I think initially with the introduction of social media, now that we have AI to delegate a lot of the small tasks that we don't have to use the brain power for, and we have all this beautiful time on our hands that we haven't been taught, or like we are not really pushed to sit with ourselves and to analyze all of that and to just be. We have our phone that just plugs our ears and our minds, and we freed up all this time just to drown it again in social media. So that's a lot of people don't feel like humans anymore, because now they're not doing the tasks, they're delegating them. And in their free time, it's too scary to stay by yourself. So you drown again. So you're just not living anymore. It's really dystopian.
I think it's very different on a person. Because when AI was introduced, I think I could satisfy my curiosity for the first time in my life, because I could ask anything that could require, again, see the progress here. So like when I was like really young person, to research something, you should have gone to the library, basically. Create an order for specific books, wait for weeks for those books to arrive, and then try manually to go through that book to find the answer. Then search engines were introduced. So basically we are trying to index the information around the world, and we are trying to look through it in a more efficient way. Yeah. And now with AI, we have someone to just pull information for us and like rephrase for us in a very concise form, basically. So it speeds up the processes of curiosity a lot. At least it's working for me a lot. I've never been a fan of social media because I was feeling that as much as it's addictive, but I have been always feeling that it just steals my time a lot, because why I'm observing the lives of other people, like why? So why should I waste my life to just observe them? So at least when I'm watching a film, at least there is a story behind it. At least I can learn something from it. But what happens if in my life, because I see that a person I know is having a vacation in Caribbean islands? I don't know. So it's like I have a cat at home, actually, too. But
Me too.
would a cat benefit from knowing how another cat lives somewhere in Brazil, let's say, and that what this cat is eating, for example. I don't think so. He is operating inside his environment, and that's what matters for him. And again, speaking of interface thinking, that's how we operate. We analyze what's around us, we make the decision, and we do the action, we act. And just observing too much of the lives of other people don't do anything. It's just fake dopamine that we having, getting, that replaces the actual processes in us. So it's always was wondering how we constructed our life in a way that chemicals that sometimes rule over our states, basically biological states, they are working in a totally wrong way. Because imagine, again, our ancestor, when he needs food or feels danger, he or she works or runs or does physical labor, basically, intense physical labor. We have the adrenaline, which motivates us, which creates a fuel in us to do extensive physical labor. And when we don't see the danger, or we are not hungry, we don't need anything, we are calm. We don't have those chemicals running in our blood system, right? Circulating in our blood system. Now, let's see how we created our lives now. So, when we are hungry, we are calmly drive to the grocery store. Nothing happens in our system. When we need money as resource to live, many of us are just calmly working on a keyboard or on some very sitting quietly. So body doesn't receive any signals that we need to do something. It's like we're sleeping. Only our brain is working. And then in the evening, we go to the gym and we have total peace of mind. Nothing produces adrenaline, but we force our body to do the advanced labor. So, and for our body is madness. It's just madness. Because when we have adrenaline, we should run to process it, basically.
To release it.
Yeah, to release it. Sometimes they even say that if you have the adrenaline rush, you just go and do the push-ups or do something to process it, to release it. So we do everything the wrong way. And why I was saying that?
We talked about knowledge and AI and us having all this time on our hands.
Oh, social media. Yeah. So, and back to the social media, we actually trying to produce those chemicals in our body, just sitting calmly and swiping the screen, because we substitute that, okay, somebody's having vacation, then one of two things happen, or both simultaneously, that we either perceive those emotions and trying to recreate them, or we are feeling extremely jealous and have negative stressing chemicals, right? Cortisol. So basically, or two at the same time. So, and it again leads our system to a malfunction mode, because everything should be in harmony in our system, basically. So if we have these dopamine levels, that means we should actually feel this air breeze and warmth and everything, because everything is connected in our body. And if we have this jealousy or like cortisol, we should feel like real danger or real urge to do something because we're not comfortable. But what do we do after that? We are not feeling jealous, having this cortisol and rush to earn money to provide this vocation. No, we just swipe and the next and the next. And what's worse, each reel can produce totally different set of emotions. And we have such crazy cocktail in our veins that
everybody's wondering, how come I'm so depressed? How come I'm so anxious?
Yeah.
It's your phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because our system just shuts down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to react. This is a tiger and the flowers and the blue sky and vacation and the disease and everything and all within like 2 minutes. And our system like, okay, I'm shutting down. I don't know. It's like a dream. I don't know what to do about that.
Do you think it's too late now?
Yeah.
For us? Because I think that happened a while back, like when we started ignoring our bodily cues.
I think the very fact that we're talking about that is a wake-up call, because as humanity, again, I believe in humanity. As humanity, we tend to go to super bad things collectively. Then we're like waking up and say, okay, it was actually bad. Okay, it's no matter that like millions of people suffered, but okay, now we see it's bad. Let's go another way. And that's the way we live, because there is no manual, basically. To some extent, we have science advancement that can, like psychology and physiology and sociology and all those advancements that can basically show us the way. Plus, we have a lot of spiritual books that have been showing us the way through centuries where there was no science, or it was like very in the very beginning state. But there's no right answer. We don't know. We just need to try. And every time we invent something or come up to something that we didn't have before, again, there's no manual. So we need to, this is trial and errors. This is how humanity works. But again, back to...
I have one thing to say.
Yeah.
It's from a little bit earlier of a conversation when you were saying that before we were supposed to go to library and like get the books and place hold, and now it's readily available. I think that's the difference between you and somebody of my gen who don't know. I think that now that we have all of this information at the tip of our fingers, we know and absorb a lot less. And when you didn't have all this knowledge just everywhere, you were cherishing it a lot more. And now that you have everything, you know nothing. I was making a point, but I don't remember which one. Just talking about your curiosity and how you are very curious. I think your upbringing and just the fact that you did have the libraries and you had to wait. And like, I want to know these things, but I can't right now. And you had to wait and like maybe think and come up with your own theories. And now if we want to know something, you Google, you find out in 3 seconds, forget about it in probably also 3 seconds. Just because it's like disposable. It's everywhere now. Why do I need to actually store it inside my head? No?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And yet I think every generation has some areas that they would call scarcity for them, that they would want extremely. And it's different for every generation. So yes, for me, books were like scarcity. And though I had my dad created just a huge library at our home, and I was raised up in the books, in the middle of the books. But I remember as the first telephone appeared in our home, and it was like rotary phone, like, and everybody hated the one with the 0 numbers because it's like going all the way back and forth. And we had even a joke that it goes like that. Hello, is it like 777777? Yes. And what do you want? Just call the ambulance. I have my finger stuck at 7. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is only my generation can understand. Yeah. And yes. So, and I see how internet, I clearly remember how it came to life, basically. And it was super excitement. And that's something your generation takes for granted.
Yeah.
But it's normal for every generation, because in my generation, television, it was something I took for granted. Because, okay, television is always at home, of course, television. But for my parents, they remember how the first TV set was like appeared at their house. And it was something, oh my God. And they were valuing it all their lives. Oh my God, television. And I remember my grandma was, she remembered all the way before even television, before telephones. And till her last days, she was like super crazily excited about like, Serge, this is telephone. I'm just dialing here. And somebody like over the kilometers can hear me. It goes through wires. So she was really appreciating it. And it's very important exercise, actually, to be thankful for all the advancement and just imagine what's happening behind the curtains, basically. When you dial in someone, just it goes to space somewhere, right? And goes back. So just be thankful. But again, it's like something that was in scarcity for every generation, and something that we achieving and valuing, and something that we take for granted. That's all different things, but the pattern is always the same for each generation. For example, like internet, AI, like you are living in where internet was always with you, right? But the AI is something new happening. It's something you can appreciate or depreciate depending on your attitude, but it's happening right now. And something which is in scarcity right now, let's say space tourism, right? Space travel. So as much as you want, you cannot just travel to Mars just to see what's happening there, to just take a friendly walk on a red planet. So something that your generation will be observing during your lifetime, hopefully. And the next generation after you would be like, oh, space travel, Mars. I've been there like 10 times, so nothing special about that. Like nothing grows there. Yeah, so, and somebody like in 50, 100 years from now will be saying, okay, where the world is going, people are not happy, young people are not happy about space travel, and we were building it for centuries and advancing science and everything, technology, to get there, and they're not appreciating that. But there will be scarcity for them in something else, like traveling to different galaxy, like space wormholes, teleportation, like just watering you with science fiction terms, but well, when Jules Verne was writing in his science fiction about the submarine, it wasn't something real, and it appeared like decades later, and everybody was, oh, such a dreamer, sci-fi guy, you know.
Do you think with each generation we just lose brain power? And that's why I didn't want to get into it too much, because I think the financial hierarchy, or like the difference in income, affects it 100 million%. I know not everybody is fully like brain dead and just with the chat GPT, but a lot of the people that are below a certain level in terms of income, they are that because they're not able to, I don't know, go to cool schools where that's not allowed, or like you have to create your own AI, da, 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 da. So I think for a lot of the people that are below a certain threshold, they are losing on this chance to gain something good in here. And I think like the world and the future generation, of course, we will keep progressing, but I think it only will be available, unfortunately, for people of specific income. Because right now, the trajectory is not looking really good for the people that are below a specific income. And the kids.
That's very interesting because I'm thinking
the opposite way.
The opposite way. Because think of it this way. So to gain some knowledges 50 years ago, I should have entered into a university and pay 10 or 20 grants a year, which was really not affordable for majority of people. So majority of people would go to trades, right? And only what we call elite people would go to get the education. And now it's affordable to everyone. And I mean, everyone, because not even speaking about the artificial intelligence, majority of universities now publish all the lectures on YouTube, and you can watch it. The books are available. Everything is available. AI is available that can help you with the journey through your education and just create a curriculum for you. So it depends now on the person. And if they want to learn, because everything is available and affordable and basically free of charge right now. The knowledge has been hugely democratized.
But imagine the iPad kids and the kids now that are being born already into this AI. And right from the start, if the kids are curious and it's like too much for the parents to take care of, the easiest way to do is to silence them with a gadget. And so imagine it's like muting a child's brain to curiosity. It's wiping curiosity clean. And it's one of my big fears that the kids will lose that curiosity because they keep being distracted by the things that are readily available. So why would I even think of all these things? Because they all already exist in my phone. So that's...
Is it a problem of AI or parents?
Well, I think the parents.
Yes, because AI is just a tool. The iPad is just a tool, right? So as much as I hate thinking this way, but I think we are in the middle, and we've always been there, through natural selection process. That's how humanity is sorting out itself, basically. So parents who want their kids to prosper, and I mean in a wider meaning of this word, not just financially, they would shape them. They would educate them. That they would create patterns in them and basically teach them, guide them. And the parents who, as you mentioned, just tend to silence their kids with technology, with a very lowest representation of content, those kids, unfortunately, they will be in the risk group of brain rotting segment of society.
But usually the reason why the parents are silencing their kids, it's not out of malicious and like, oh, I want my kid to be dumb. It's the lack of resources in terms of emotional capability, time. And that's why I'm saying, like, with people below a specific income bracket, it becomes exponentially harder because now they don't have the time to invest in the kids like this. They don't have the financial means to invest in their kids like this. Or like the coming from a 12-hour shift back to back. I'm so tired. Oh, Mom, can I please have something? Here you go. Just a phone. And it's not their fault necessarily. It's just they're born into that system. And their kids will grow up, maybe not necessarily, but because they've been muted, their brains have been muted by the readily available information and AI and fun. It's going to be hard for a lot of people below a specific income bracket. I think. It's a fear.
Yeah, I think
Not a
that,
theory.
again, because this is something new we're going through right now, I think humanity will collectively evolve to the stage where we somehow regulate that.
Yeah.
As we evolve to the level that we are regulating alcohol consumption for minors, right? So one could say, okay, we're limiting freedom. So if he's a minor, why not to buy alcohol? But for some reason, we as humanity came to the realization that it's bad for them, and it creates some irreversible processes in their brains, which then will not be restored, no chance to restore them, right? The same with drugs. It's prohibited for a reason. It's technically it's limitation of my rights and freedoms, but that's done for a reason. And those people, I always like to say that those people who too much complaining about government regulation, and I'm not pro super extreme government regulation towards the dictatorship states. And yet, those people who say we need total, ultimate freedom. So I always ask them the same question. Explain me why we have traffic lights. And they just shut down because the traffic light is the direct representation of violation of our rights and freedoms to drive wherever we want to drive. We see the red light and we will be basically punished for driving on a red light. What is that if not the direct violation of our rights and freedoms? But that's created for a reason of safety. The same will happen here. I'm pretty sure.
So, yes. You believe in humanity. That's so good.
In collective humanity.
In collective humanity, yes.
Yeah. I may not be a super believer in like individual manpower and brain power, but collectively, There is an extreme thought I'd like to share with you. I've heard it from one of the, let's call him founder of neural networks, which is the mechanism behind the artificial intelligence. And he said a very radical thought, but I want to just spill it out, that maybe humanity is just a transitional form in the whole process of evolution towards the real intelligence. So according to him, the chances are that we are basically have done our jobs by creating artificial intelligence, and we'll just pass it on. And we'll just occupy our place in this ladder, basically, and it will progress and takes on from there. I don't have any position towards that because I'm still pondering this really strong statement. But this can be a chance of that. Should we be afraid of that? Because obviously in a couple of years it will become exponentially stronger than our brain. For just one reason. It's developing and evolutioning collectively as the network of machines, something that we are like very poor on doing. Because every human being which is born, so think of that from the perspective of a computer science guy, every new instance of a human being, it's created, let's say born, and for 20 first years, it needs, he or she, but we're talking about the instance, right, to install the software. So basically, we have downloading process from parents, from school, from university, like the first 20 years, we're installing the software. And for every new human instance, we're doing it individually. So whatever advancements humanity did before, we need to download that individually. The human being is not born with okay, I will take it from there, right? So we need to download first, because we are being born with a blank brain, basically, without operational system, right? So that's funny, actually. And and that's totally different how AI and computer systems evolve. So basically, let's say we have a new electric car, right, with some software in it. And this software is connected to the network of all electric cars. So if any electric car gets into some potential accident and it learns from it, it instantly becomes available to all the other cars. Maybe not instantly, but in the next software update, it becomes available. And all of them learning collectively. And the bandwidth, it's just hilarious, because the bandwidth is just something we can, if you think of what a gigabyte is, that we are just exchanging information at the rate of gigabytes right now through our even mobile internet. So 1 gigabyte is just a lot of books. And we exchange it in 1 second. And the way humans exchange, like we are talking right now, is not gigabytes, it's not megabytes, it's not kilobytes, it's bytes. It's just, if you remember those, maybe you don't remember, obviously, but you maybe saw them in the reels or somewhere, those like very old modems that you connect to phone line, and they do this sound like those sound of connecting to phone line and exchange it. And the picture on the internet was progressively loaded, like this. And yet they were way faster than we are talking, and we are reading, or we are listening. So as much as optimistic I am, we have no chance of competing with this information exchange rates. Because it's exchanging information with the instances momentarily. Imagining just exchanging information on the level of sending the entire library like in a couple seconds and back and back and back. And they have discussions on that level, not like we are having discussions right now. So slow, we are just extremely slow motion guys.
So interesting. Hits the ego a little bit, you know?
Yes, and that's by the way, one philosopher said that that collectively as humanity, we can get into really dangerous existential dark depression because of this very reason that we are not number one now.
Because we've been for so long.
And now we will be, okay, there's someone way more advanced than me, and I don't quite even can realize what it's doing right now, what's it's inventing, what it's aiming for. Should we feel bad about that? I don't know.
I think a lot of people feel bad because they feel like, and I do agree partially, it's been thrown on us. It hasn't been, we were never asked the permission to do it. It was just, here you go, guys. Like nobody asked, oh, do we want AI, do we not? No. But I'm just thinking about this phenomenon. I don't remember which one, philosophical, I guess, where how the light bulbs came to be. And then somebody found out that at the same time, in different parts of the world, somebody also was coming up with a light bulb. So I think that would be inevitable, that some person would just come up with AI and spring it on us.
Yeah.
So I think...
Yeah. It's the same with the invention of the radio. Two guys simultaneously invented that. And Albert Einstein once said that I haven't invented too much. I was standing on the shoulders of giants, basically referring to other great scientists of the past, basically, and just connecting the dots. So if not them, he would have had no chance to discover what he discovered, like special and general theory of relativities. And I don't want to go too dark here, but in the worst case scenario, I can't even say it's the worst case scenario. Maybe its advancement will serve us good. I don't know. There is a famous sci-fi book that introduces the idea that some of the people were what they called in the book progressors. Progressors meant that they have so much higher potential than other people that if this progressor's state is triggered in them, so they instantly become far more advanced than other people. And there was a couple, like they were in love, and suddenly the guy realized, somehow he discovered, I don't remember already how, that he has this progressor's potential. And they had a conversation, should he trigger it in himself or not? Because the danger of it was that she would become instantly totally not interesting for him, because she would be she would stay in very earthly problems, like how to buy a house, what's the prices change for fuel, and those things. And he would be thinking how to terraform different galaxies, let's say, and da-da-da. The book story, ends up that he chose the decision, just took a decision to activate it in himself. Of course, he disappeared from her life. And that's what I'm thinking of humanity. Even in the worst case scenario, again, I don't want to sound too dark here, but do monkeys feel bad that they're not humans? I don't know. Because probably they don't realize that they are not humans, and we will. So probably that's a bad example. That's another evolutionary twist we need to face. We have to face. We don't have any other options. We'll see.
Not too dark. We'll see. For some reason, lately, I've had such a nihilistic mood. But have you seen this little meme of the guys sitting in the same school bus, and one is looking at mountains and he sees nothing, and one is looking at the view, and one is like, oh no, life has no meaning. Oh, life has no meaning. And right now I'm in the nihilistic stage of yay, life has no meaning. So it doesn't scare me so much, to be honest. I just have, maybe we can cut this out. I'm gonna die anyways.
We're all gonna die. Sandy.
Yeah, literally.
We're all gonna die anyways.
It doesn't, maybe I should think about my descendants. And I do. But we
cannot predict it.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with the rate how it's changing right now. Yeah. It's basically with the same success we can predict how the billiard ball will go 3 minutes from now. So it's impossible. It's impossible.
And thinking about this will make you more anxious and
we are created to live in the now. So that's what we do. And sometimes, if taken properly, nihilistic state is very good for you. In terms, it's just a reset of the system, basically.
I think I'm that.
Yeah.
Before I had a different nihilistic view. So now it's, life is so chill, Oh.
Yeah. So basically, some values that stopped working for you, they're being wiped out. and you reset and new values come that work for you. And that's no surprise that in so rapidly changing world, we tend to come through nihilistic states very often because we need multiple resets to load something else in us.
A lot is changing.
To adjust,
so fast,
yes. I'm a firm believer when the future and the past clash in the battle, eventually the future always wins. Always. There can be, again, something we started from, that as humanity we are waltzing. So there can be like step back, sometimes even two. But eventually it will be 3 steps forward. It's been like that for centuries, for thousands of years. There is nothing telling us that it will be somehow different this time. And every generation was, if you read the books, even ancient Romans, they were complaining at the same things. The young generation, they are not appreciating the progress. They're not listening to older ones. What will happen to them, where humanity is going to, and everything is lost.
Still.
And here we are 2,000 years later, and talking about AI and space exploration and everything. So we survived as humanity. We advanced as humanity. So I hope that's the way to go. We just need collectively, I think, again, be more optimistic about future. We shouldn't be carelessly optimistic, like we are not in charge of what's going on. We are in charge. We are driving. So that's not something is happening to us. That's we collectively. As the Constitution goes, we, the people. So we, the people, collectively create the world for the next generation to pass it to them, and they will take it from us and carry it forward to pass to the next generation. So we are doing that, not somebody else is doing that to us. It's we. So we are in charge, we are driving, so let's drive to the right place where we see it should go.
It's really hard to stay positive when you're oblivious to how things work. And still, I'm talking about myself, still a little bit of friction and tension with the AI because I don't know much about it. I'm afraid to dip my toes into it because what if I actually do like it? And it's just a strange dichotomy, but stay curious.
Stay curious. That's the best advice.
It doesn't mean you have to accept it or you have to deny it. Just stay curious and stay open. It's all affirmations to myself. Stay curious, stay open.
Think of AI as a very, at least at this stage of its development, a very advanced bot that has access to all encyclopedias in the world and knowledges in the world. So now if we, as someone said, if we have a device that can give us access to all knowledge in the world, and it fits in our pocket, and we use it to browse kittens, whose problem is that?
That's good.
In 2020, I filmed a short film, sci-fi dystopian film in Black Mirror style, actually, that predicts basically what's going on now with AI and what will or what may happen tomorrow or in a month or in a year. So I'm inviting you to watch it somewhere here. It's just 4 minutes, but you will be impressed. I can promise you.